See the rapids coming through here. I'd rather be down there playing in the water.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's the waterfall and the river. That's so cool. I told you we were here in the waterfall. Oh, I want to be down there playing. Alright, I'm fighting the crowd here because everybody on the planet Earth is doing a selfie.
It's unbelievable.
Alright, I'm sorry, the lake in the background is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Joyce is going to stay on longer. I'm probably having my fill right now because the boards bounce under me. If the boards were steadier, I'd probably be better off. But I think this is a nice view. Really get to see it. Alright, we are still in the town of Hohenschwangau. We're about to walk up to the castle of Hohenschwangau. I obviously, from the video, crossed the bridge, so that was very cool. But this is just absolutely breathtaking. Like I say anytime in the Alps, just stop and admire nature. You know, there's beautiful buildings and castles, but the mountains are just amazing. The views are breathtaking.
The walk is breathtaking.
The walk is breathtaking, but in a different way. So, los.
Okay.
Alright, we have reached Hohenschwangau after a 5-minute walk, maybe. We can't go inside. We didn't buy the tickets. We're just coming up for the view. See, if you take a left, it's Neuschwanstein. That's very pretty. Very pretty. Sehr schön.
So, where do you think we can go?
Up until they tell us we can't go.
Sounds good to me.
What a beautiful view. So here we are on Hohenschwangau, and just this amazing view. Time to go panorama here.
We're here.
So here's a view from this courtyard, one side of it. And we can't go in or up there without a ticket, and they don't sell the tickets up here if we wanted to go in. Alright, we are heading down to the lake, so just came down from up here, our Hohenschwangau Castle, Schloss Hohenschwangau. Very beautiful, perfect, picturesque view of it, and we are right at the lake, and you know what I'm going to do with the lake. Cold is good. Cold is good. This is beautiful. Look at the mountains up above. What? Probably. There are so many Australian English tour guides all over. We've heard so many in Berlin. The 30th War started as a war between Poland and Russia. Oh, no, it didn't. Indeed. Right, there's Neuschwanstein, zooming in, shaking a bit. And there's the bridge we were on to see Neuschwanstein.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone. How are you? It is Friday again, and some of you have chosen to spend it here on this, the biggest little live stream in the model train community, or the little biggest whatever. How is everybody today? Let's go straight to the greetings, and then I'll respond to some of the commentary. Boilermaker Rick, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Chris Hatchell just popped in. Nice to have you here. Sean at GWR Buckley Junction, you've been putting up a few videos this week. Hi at H&H, welcome in. Andy the Hot Dog Pilot, thank you. Ifo Van Zan, nice to have you. Jean Ricard, nice to have you as well. Leslie Gilpin, hello, sir. And we've got Mick and Dino, great to have you guys. Arthur, the O-Gauge Trains, one of my favorite channels. You just posted a new video about Luke. I haven't watched it yet. We have, let's see, somebody just popped in. Joseph Agliato is here. Hi, Joseph, the Sergeant-at-Arms for the Knights of the Rhomboid Table. And Peter Webster, Ray Bertelson, and my good friend, at least I hope I can say that, Simon, SJ Dusty is there. Ewan the Growler is here. Mike Putnam from the Innocent Tales of Piddlefolk. In fact, Leslie was just asking to get in contact with you. Tom Couples is here. Train Kits, and I haven't learned your first name, or if you've mentioned it, I've forgotten it already. So I'm unfortunately getting that way in my old age. And Chris from Volleys 56 is here. Now, earlier I saw Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog was here and talking Warhammer. So yeah, some of that video was Joyce and I down in the towns of Schwangau and Füssen in southern Germany, Bavaria, southwestern Bavaria, south central Germany. And, you know, Ivo mentioned the Neuschwanstein is a tourist trap. Without a doubt, and I've always been very negative about it. In all my trips to Germany, even students would say, Mr. Dodge, can we go see it? I says, no, it's a fake castle. But as time's gone by, I've softened on it. And since we decided to be in that part of Germany, we weren't going to go pay the money and wait in line to go inside. Although, to be honest, going inside is kind of cool. But I've seen movies of what's inside, and it would probably still be cool. But I'm not waiting 2-3 hours in line to go inside. But I will say this, as negative as I am toward it, seeing it from the Marienbrücke, Mary's Bridge, and from the town of Füssen and Schwangau, looking up at it, it was actually very cool to see it because it's this famous place, and it's got a tragic story to it as well. Let me see. Somebody just popped in. Andrew, March West Junction. He was here earlier and I think must have popped out. Kiwi Dave just popped in. Nice to have you, Kiwi Dave. For the most part, I have had a pretty good week. No big mail deliveries. I got some new model train outsider stuff. This was a first rough draft of a jersey, so I'm wearing it over my sweater. The problem is they got the print lower. The print should have been up here, and so I don't know how well you see that. My daughter redesigned it so that now the logo would be up here. Logo will be up here, and the letters are smaller. She redesigned the shirt and said that would look better, but I got it as a test bit. This is, you know, it's kind of cool. It's sort of like a baseball jersey. Got my logo on the sleeves. Nobody in my family liked this design except me. Nobody liked it but me, but I thought it was cool. Hey, Warwick Andy is here. Warwick Road Andy, nice to have you here. But yeah, once it came in, when we designed it, I thought we had the print up higher, but it came in lower. But I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like it. I'm just buying all this stuff for me. I am not trying to sell anything. I just, spring is a way you can get something made. Now, Sticker Mule also does it, and you get a basic t-shirt, $20 with your logo on it. But at the time I was doing this, got my own little beer glass with the new logo on it. So that's kind of cool. But otherwise, the only mail I got was Andrew McDonald here from March West Junction sent me quite a few little Arrow 1 and Western American figures, and I am just this is great. I've already got, like, this one's going to be Nat Mayfault, the station master, and I've got Digger Deeperman, the head of the Miners Guild up at the Lake Albalo Mines, and there's a Sheriff Dan in here, and a guy that repainted could be Marshall Tucker from Series 2. There's quite a few characters in here I can use when I start building my diorama. Now, the one thing is, I'm curious about this. You know, I don't quite get this, but it's kind of cool. It's Everard Junction to Dean Park Station to Dungewood, Gleborough Junction, March West Junction, which is obviously Andrew, and then to Durban Garden City. It's an LNER, London Northeastern Railway card. I'm a little more curious as to what exactly this is about, or did you guys go together to do something? I would like more of a story on that one, Andrew. I'm just curious about that. But I do have the fear I've had for weeks is new. I've had trains that were supposed to be in November, others in December, January, February. And lo and behold, bam, they're all hitting. So I've got 2 trains that came in this week that that are being shipped. So they'll be here early next week. Hey, welcome Thomas Johnson. Nice to have you in here. And I saw Paul is here from Smallwood Junction. Okay, that's great. Oh, that's what they put in the window for the train's destinations and then the different stations it stops at. Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. I kind of wondered, but I wasn't going to guess. So, anyhow, it was a week that I planned on actually doing some things, and some stuff came up off camera that just kind of distracted me. I have started prepping for doing the Fowler car stuff, but also I've been doing some other things. I've been doing a lot of DIY projects around the house. With one of the big issues we had is they put in the new fuse box, electrical box, panel box in our house, and they completely mislabeled everything. They used our map, but I guess he got whatever, and everything is off. Like, this was supposed to be the basement lights. Nope, that's the upstairs kitchen. Yeah, everything. And we had to go through and figure it all out. And then there's one set of lights. We have not found a fuse. We have a set of lights and outlets that are split between 2 different places. And there's no shut off. We're still trying to figure that one out because I am doing electrical work on the house and I want to be able to shut fuses off again to work on it. But there's that. That's that. Hey Jackie, how are you? Dwight Curley just came in. Eric, how are you doing, my friend, down there, recuperating after having your body cut in half by hopefully a skilled magician? But you're back home recuperating. It's amazing the major surgeries they do, and less than a week later you're home. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries and I was out of the hospital in less than a day. Joey's had knee replacement surgery and I think they kept her in the hospital for a day and a half. I mean, they literally chopped off part of her femur, part of her tibia, whatever, and threw in a new knee. And they were doing exercises with it the next day, and they sent her home the day after that. But anyhow, one thing I briefly wanted to mention here, a couple of things I do want to talk about. I was watching a video from a channel I've been subscribed to for a little while, and there was like 3 different channels in the last 3 days posted videos, channels I'm subscribed to, so I'm almost feeling like maybe it's me, where they talked about, is it worth doing videos and stuff on YouTube? They're getting frustrated with people going down and doing, giving them thumbs downs or the negative criticisms that people feel the need to post. And, it's, I don't know. There are a few people that were very honest that they came onto YouTube in the model train community, and their goal was to get to 1,000 or more, get monetized, and try to build up a channel and do it. But and I have no problem with that. I don't care what you do on your channel. I either watch it or I don't. If you're in here, I probably watch your channel. But for me, I'm lucky if I get 200 views on one of my regular videos. My live streams have been something else. Speaking of which, last week's live stream, 420 views last I checked, which makes it the most watched outsider-insider video ever. Why that particular live stream, boom. Now, it didn't get the most likes and it did get 1 dislike, but at least that's down. Although somebody is going through and putting dislikes on all my videos lately, and it's just somebody being petty or bitchy or whatever it is. But again, and you know, when we do videos on YouTube, hey Ray Bubble, how are you? When we go on YouTube, it's what do you want from YouTube? You know, everybody, oh, YouTube sucks and YouTube's too commercial and YouTube is a company. They're out to make money. That's from day one. And what happens is now, once you have 500 subscribers, they pop commercials on your video, whether you can't even monetize yet, but they will pop videos on your on videos of yours. And once you hit 1,000, you can monetize them. My attitude was, they're throwing commercials on my videos anyhow, I might as well get a piece of the pie. And in the year since I've been monetized, I've made $200 because I don't put enough content and I don't get enough views. But you know, $200 is $200. That's a locomotive. That's a lot of new track. That's something. I don't do channel subscriptions, and I keep trying, and I have gone in and shut off the super chats, but it's still on there. I have told it to shut off the super chats, and it's back on. And I don't want super chats. I don't want anybody giving me money. I got enough money to buy what I want to buy. But I wanted to thank everybody for whatever reason. That last week's live stream just, you know, for my stuff went viral. I know 400 views isn't viral, but that was pretty big. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, some people go on and they want to show other people, this is what I do, and this is a way you can do it, what have you. And I don't know, I came onto YouTube to make friends. That's all I came onto YouTube for. I didn't come on with any other agenda. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to meet people. I wasn't looking necessarily to gain information, because I don't have to create a channel to watch videos to get information. I was doing that just fine before I went on channel, but I was watching channels, and you know, the story is I was watching Richard at New Junction, watched one of his earliest videos, and he talked about, you know, feeling kind of isolated and wanting to reach out and talk to people, just meet people, even if it was this way. And that was, my kids and Joyce all said to me, Dad, you need to do that. Start posting videos and maybe you'll make some friends. Well, you know, 4 years later, I've made a lot of friends. I've got 1,400 subscribers, but I don't consider all those subscribers friends, because a lot of people are subscribed to my channel. My friends are the people that are here every week. Hey, Raymond Legs, how are you? Alan from Dragon Junction. And then take that the next step. I have then been able to go and meet Alan from Dragon Junction and consider him a real life friend. Andrew McDonald, Richard Brown, Tim J.D. Dowd, who has been with me, I think, since day one that I started live streaming. And, you know, yes, we can get burned out. And yes, some people can be utter assholes when you're, you know, when you put something up, because they can be anonymous, they can create ghost accounts, and they can just, you know, write rude comments to you and walk away. And, you know, we can say don't let it bother you, but sometimes, you know, the right comment hits the wrong place, or the wrong comment hits the wrong place and it bothers you. But in the end, you know, you're under no obligation to post anything. You don't have to. And, you know, we can talk and joke and even be snide about how nothing on my layout changes. But you know what? I don't have anything I'm competing with either. You know, I can't do something really cool and say, okay, now I've got to top that. It's like, it's what kills movies. It's what kills music, is somebody does something really good, and then the next thought is, okay, now I got to do better than that. I've got to do something wilder and grander and bigger. And I don't have that attitude. My attitude is, I'm just going to show up here and babble. Somebody is sending me pictures. I'm just going to babble, and if people come in and babble and have fun and do it. I'm not here to tell you I know everything. In fact, model trains is probably a subject I'm very ignorant of, even after all these years. I tell you, and I always preface it with, this is what others have told me, or what I understood others to say. I'm not a computer guy. I mean, I know computers, but I haven't spent my life in IT and programming and digital. My life took a different course, and my genius and my expertise are in areas that don't factor into this channel. So the thing is, when the blues are getting you like, oh, I'm sick of YouTube, remember the positives. When you have 58 likes and 3 dislikes, if you're looking at the dislikes and ignoring the 58 likes, and Joyce yells at me about this all the time, because I'm like, damn, that video I did got 3 dislikes. She's like, honey, it got 58 likes. Shut up. You know, look at what counts, because hopefully you've met good people. Hopefully you've had fun. And if the pressure's getting to you, you're under no obligation. You do not have to answer. YouTube is not your job. It's supposed to be sharing your hobby, sharing your passion. And we all lose our mojo, and we all have our downtimes. But in the end, I look forward to Friday, because the people that have been coming here and the new people who come in and decide to stay, 6 months ago, hot dog pilot Andy wasn't coming around. I didn't know him. And then all of a sudden he's popping in, and now he's a welcomed regular and fun guy, and I'm watching his live streams, and there's just a lot of cool stuff going on there. And again, people, you get to know the Leslie Gilpins and the Carl Bank-Gotcher Junctions, Lee from Anfield Road and such. And that's what you got to hang your hat on. That's what you got to take out with the rest of the day. Now, speaking of which, I have to apologize to everybody, and I'll get to the trains in a minute, but this stuff has come up today. More on the positive stuff. Let me go to it. Whoops, that's not what I want you looking at. I want you looking at that. Not that any of you will be there, but this Sunday, I will be at the Greater Toledo Train and Toy Show. Now, I did an impromptu live stream from this last year, and it was the most fun I ever had at a train show ever. So I'm going to be going, hey, there's Rick's Railroad. Cool. Well, thank you for that. And this is going to cut in. I know Andy does a live stream at 10:30 on Sundays, and Lee does a live stream at 12. But I'm going to start live streaming about 10 o'clock. Now, Joyce and I are going to be getting there around 9. Joyce isn't happy about this. But I'm going to do another live stream, and I do plan on, looking around, and don't expect Heath quality interviews or anything like that. It's just going to be me at the train show showing you what's there. It was really cool last year, and I'm excited for this year, which means it's probably going to bomb this year. But it was the first time I ever went to a train show where I really had a good time, and talking to people live and telling people I was live. And this year I've got my logo going. Joyce and I will be throwing out my stickers everywhere. And, these silly stickers here, we'll be throwing stickers out at people finally. I don't have business cards. I probably should create business cards. But let's see. Hey, Andrew's here. Which mark is high and by? So, well, hello, model train aficionado, Chris. But I'm going to this, and I'll be there from 10 probably till about noon. Now, the doors open for the early birds at 9, and then to general admission at 11. Well, I bought early bird tickets, and so we'll be broadcasting 9 to, well, probably 10 to 12. I don't know how long it'll last for sure. I've got spare battery packs, so the phone will stay charged for quite a while. I just have a cord that runs up my back to my phone, a little 10-foot charging cord from a little charging pack I carry. But we're going to be doing that, so we'll be, Yeah, daylight savings time starts for us, but it's still going to be 10 o'clock my time. But yeah, you guys will be, we're jumping ahead. So instead of 6 hours, you'll be 5 hours in front of us. But again, it'll just look, you know. So it'll be 2 to 3 o'clock UK and everybody else's time. So that's that. So let's go to here and let's get some trains running and I can stop babbling. And where did he go? Kieran is here. Hi, Kieran. But I don't like, I'm still, I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. All right, Chris, if you want to advertise your channel, Model Rail Aficionado, you can advertise your channel. Some channels don't want you advertising. I say advertise your channel, share links to cool videos as long as it's nothing controversial, you know, politics, religions, things like that. Keep it hobby related, comedy related, because my channel is as much about comedy. So what are we running today? We are running 2 Railjets. So I've got the Austrian Railjet right in front, the Czech Railjet next to it. In lane 3, we're running my Czech EC with the Class 71. It's been a little while since it's run. And then I'm running the Metronom and the IC2 Steuerwagen first, just so Ifo and Jean Ricard will leave me alone. And then way in the back, we're running the Class 650 diesel unit, the DMU back there. So let's get some trains rolling. And I'm actually going to try to run these slower. Whoops. You're going the wrong way, dude. How'd I do that? I made sure you were going the right way. I must have bumped it. Hopefully this guy set up. No. I must have bumped all of these. Huh. Go figure. Ah, well. It is what it is. And then I can get into the chat. Are you bumped? No, you're going the right way. Good for you. I'm just going to try to keep these guys relatively slow. All right, so we got everybody going. And I'll start with the multi-view, but I'm going to try more to faction. Okay. So I'm just trying to catch up. Tom Couples. You're going to a railway exhibition, Peter. I've never been to an exhibition. I've just been to shows. This is Toledo. You don't get any big name companies coming in. It's just dealers selling. It's like a multi-family garage sale, boot sale, whatever. You don't really have big companies like Walters or anybody. Now, having said that, yes, every now and then Walters has been at the Toledo show and have a little booth set up, but for the most part, it's just individual retailers that live in the area or travel within a certain distance and do these shows. But I'm going to do that. Oh, the British trains. Yes, I need to get that. I forgot to set up the camera too. So let's go. Get you going. And whoops! Clumsy me. Let's see how you doing here. Okay, that's better. So yes, there's the UK trains going. I'm running the Azuma and that Beatles going on here. I did get a new controller. I did get a new controller for that. Several cars having loose wheels. That was the Springfield one. Yeah, Chris from Model Train Aficionado. Yeah, I do European trains. I do Märklin 3-rail, but it's basically Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic because I've been over to Germany beginning in 2003. From 2003 to 2017, I went every June up through 2016. It was with students. And then I ran an exchange program, and we lived in the city of Dominhorst. But we went on field trips and did other things in other parts of Germany for, I'd take the students on what we call day trips, where for a day we'd take a train and go somewhere and come back at night. And then we'd have special trips where, like, we went to the Alps, or we'd go down to the Rhine, or we'd go to the city of Dresden. And we'd also spend 3 days in Berlin. But we spent about 3.5 weeks in Germany. And it sounds like I was at a rich school. We weren't. We were an urban school here in the city of Toledo. And we just... The concept was that we would... the idea was that we were exchanging with our sister city, and all the kids had to do was save up and pay their airfare, and everything we did in Germany for 3.5 weeks was free to them. They had to bring their own spending money, and they had to buy the plane ticket. And we got discounts for group fares and things like that. So, but it was a great deal. So this was working class kids could go. But yeah, it was predominantly working class kids I was taking to Germany. And then the program came to an end. Too long a story to go into, but basically they redrew the district, school districts in our city, and they closed one high school, and a lot of people moved out of the neighborhood, and that was the working class people. Racism and everything else involved, but be that as it may. My program ended in 2016. Joyce and I had already saved up, so we decided to travel for the first time in our lives. We went to Europe. We went to Germany, and then we didn't go in 2018. Then we went in 2019, and then our trip in 2020 and 2021 were canceled. And then 2022, we went to the UK for a change. But yeah, so from 2003 to 2019, every year except 2018, I was in Germany. So that's where I fell in love with trains. I have never had to buy photography tickets. No. Hey, Sean. I saw your video on trees. My trees are El Cheapo Chinese ones. But again, there is not a tree on this layout that is staying where it is. Someday that'll all be pulled up and different things will be put in. I just kept throwing stuff down. A lot of this stuff is my wargaming scenery. Grass mats and everything. This is just stuff that I put down just to have something on my layout. And the problem is, some people have said, I've gotten emails from people saying, you know, you put all that crap down and that makes you less inspired to do the actual scenery. And I don't know if that's true or not, but because knowing me, I probably wouldn't have been doing anything anyhow, but at least I've got something down. But the one side, this view, let's go to this one. There we go. That side, and you can see I've taken a lot of things off, and I'm going to be taking all these buildings off maybe this week. I just got to find a place to put them first. That is the city of Dominhorst, which is a small suburb of, it's you know, in America we wouldn't call it a suburb, but it technically is a suburb of Bremen. It's about 9 miles west of Bremen. And we lived in Dominhorst as our home base town, and it's where I fell in love with riding trains. It's where I was never into model trains, even as a kid. I had a model train that I never played with. I got my first model train, I think it was Christmas in 1969. It was a Tyco Santa Fe Super Chief box set. It had a couple of Santa Fe semi trailers and beds and a Baby Ruth candy bar box car. You had to pay an extra fee. When was this? Yeah, maybe that's something new they're doing, but yeah, I took my students to the Pergamon every year. And A, I never had to pay to get them in, and B, we were allowed to take photographs as long as it was no flash. Now, maybe there are certain types of cameras they charge that for, but no, I have never... Joyce has walked around the Pergamon and taken thousands of pictures. We've got everything at the Pergamon we have at least 8 pictures of. I shouldn't say that. I should say more like 12, 14, 15, because we went to... Every year we were in Germany, we went to Berlin, and all but the... No, we went to Pergamon the first year too. So yeah, about 14 times we went to the Pergamon. And every year Joyce had to take pictures of the Pergamon. The only thing you're not allowed to take pictures of is, but that's not in the Pergamon. It's in the Altes Museum, or the Neues Museum, I forget which one, is Nefertiti. And Joyce managed to get a picture of Nefertiti somehow. But oh my goodness, you want to talk about one of the coolest things was seeing the statue of Nefertiti. The famous bust, where it's just her thin neck and her head, and it was dropped years ago, and part of it was broken, and so part of her ear is broken. But oh my god, you stand 3 feet in front of her, and you still expect her to start talking. She is so lifelike. It is amazing. If you've never seen that Nefertiti bust, being there is so different than seeing it on the videos. But oh my goodness, it's an amazing work of art. Oh, hey, Peter, let me go ahead and we've got a few people. Most people are probably sick of seeing this, but it's been a few streams since I've done it. So let's do this. This is a map of my primary table. It is that side, which is actually my left. I'm pointing to my right, but literally, because my image is not mirrored here. If it were mirrored, it'd make more sense. But yeah, that way, follow my finger. That side is a 12.5 by 8 foot wide, 12.5 deep, 8 foot wide table. The middle is 2.5 feet deep by 6 feet wide. And then that side over there is 11.5 deep by 8 foot wide. So it's 8 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot along the back, which is 22 feet long. And then what's not on this map, which is way over there, but I'd have to point this way. Way over there is a little parking area. Let me see if I can get a camera that shows it. Yeah, if you look way in the back, you can see a white train way in the back. The camera here is struggling, trying to decide what to focus on. But way in the back, there's a little parking area where I store my longest trains. Hey, John Benicki's here. How are you? Andrew, there's plenty of haggis. Did ya? Yeah, that was amazing because they've got 6 guards in there. At any given time, they got 6 guards. And if you grab a camera, they jump in front of you. You're not even allowed to talk in that room. Heck, if you cough, they throw you out. Now, they were doing renovations and they moved her for a while. But she's, for at least 10 years now, she's been back. 10 years, maybe 12. She's been back at the one museum. But they moved her over to a museum by Charlottenburg, the Hohenzollern family castle in Western Berlin. I just got to make sure it's Charlottenburg, because Charlottenhof is a different one. Let's see. I could do that one. But yeah, if you look way over there, that might show it a little better. So you can see there's a parking area and then a couple of shelves where I store a lot of my trains. Otherwise, I could have done this 24 feet long. And yes, in case you can't tell, those trains go into a closet. And someday I'm hoping those trains will go through that closet, under those stairs, and into that room over there. But I have to wait for my other daughter to move out before that happens. Hey, Marquette Hemmeldown is here. Nice to have you. But let's catch a train. We'll do it with and we'll go around the layout again and catch all the cameras. So this, I kind of consider this camera 1. This is called Up the Ramp. It's the longest view. You can see this. And there is a ramp. The trains come up. As my Railjet, it is slowing down because I only got them at half speed. And then they come into Dominhorst Station because Dominhorst Station is an elevated platform. So it comes through Dominhorst Station. And then we have the village view, and this shows the town of Dominhorst. And then as he comes around the corner, we have what we call the DB camera, the bridge view, the 11-lane view. Oh, that camera got bumped, darn it. The Joyce view, the workstation cam, the Bremen corner cam. And then this probably gives you the best view of the whole thing. All right, which camera was screwed up? The 11-lane. Oh, I must have bumped that when I was moving something. This is an old tripod, and it's an old tripod, and it doesn't lock the horizontal movement. Indeed, indeed. If anything, I probably should turn those cameras facing the opposite, but what the heck. Here comes that Railjet again. And this, everybody asks, what's my favorite train? It is probably the Austrian Railjet. That's my favorite livery in the world. Although Czech Railjet comes in a hefty close second. He's coming around. Let's catch him. There we go. The blue and white one. This is the Czech Railjet. There we go. But that's probably my second favorite one. Yes, followed closely by the ICE-3. Hey, Roger, how are you? Great to have you here. All right, Peter, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate that. Funny you should do that, Roger, because last 2 nights ago, Joyce and I were starting to maybe do a Talking Heads parody of that song as a future song. I've written a couple of stanzas. I just want to touch it up and try to make it funnier. But that is funny you're doing that. Usually I try to surprise, but since you're already doing that, Joyce and I started working on that a couple of days ago. Just watching the trains go by at my model train club. Keep watching them. You know, we had some crazy stuff there. All right, let's go to. Let's see how the UK trains are doing. Let's go to floor cam. So there we have the floor cam. So there's that beautiful Azuma and that class 173 Beatles Singles. Hornby suckering us Beatle fans again. That's not accurate, Jean, but in some ways, the Railjet is always my favorite in terms of livery. Now, that Pico 440 definitely has shot up the ranks because I've wanted that particular locomotive for a long time, locomotive unit. I've wanted that for a long time. It finally came out after Joyce and I rode them. And let's go to the Multibue. You guys can kind of get a feel for everything. But it's by far and away, it's the best Pico I've ever owned. And that's P-I-K-O. Any new UK guys here? There's Pico, P-E-C-O, the UK company. Then there's the German company, P-I-K-O, Pico. I have not had a lot of luck with Picos. And I consider them of the big three German companies, although technically Roco's Austrian, but of the big three, and I consider Märklin, Roco, and Pico the big three, and then Brava's a little smaller, some of the other companies. And with Märklin, of course, I include Trix as part of Märklin. But it is definitely a Pico I consider the weakest in terms of quality. Now they make some great ones, but that 440, I definitely love it. But that's true of many trains I have. It started off so bad out of the box with the messed up bogie and everything, and to get it fixed and then to have it running so smoothly. You'll notice it is parked today. I finally parked it after 4 straight live streams. Hey, Randall, nice to have you back. But, you know, the thing is, I don't come on here to pretend I know more than I know. And I willingly ask questions of people. In fact, speaking of questions, Jean Ricard, EFO, I have a question for you. And Raymond Legs, you could help with this as well. And since you're here and you have so much knowledge, if you remember late last year, 2022, I bought a bunch of cars. Actually, Joy said buy them, and I bought these 4 cars, and we decided that they were Prussian, you know, pre-World War I, Prussian state railways. And I've got those 4 cars. And I would like to make a complete set. But also, I would like an appropriate loco. Do you guys know of a particular Prussian state Aero 1 locomotive, pre-World War I locomotive, that would be, well, I've already said the word appropriate, that would go with those? I saw one that Brava is making, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that cool looking steamer. But if you guys know of a really classy Aero 1 locomotive that I could look for, obviously I'd have to do 3-rail, but at least it's something I could keep an eye out. That would be appropriate for those cars. Yeah, the KPEV or the KPV. Königliche Preußische Eisenbahnverwaltung. Right. Okay. Yes, I do speak fluent German too. But the key is not showing that we speak German. The key is trains, the KPV. Yeah, but I've heard bad things about Lilliput too, good and bad things about Lilliput. It's just, is there a good, because I was Googling, well, I wasn't Googling, I was looking on Lippin, I just typed in, I used their filters, Aero 1, KPEV, and like 4 locomotives came up, but 2 of them were Bavarian and not KPEV. But they had 4 Aero 1s, and the Bavarian ones were beautiful. Königsreich Bayerisches Stadtbahn. It was really, really impressive. But I don't think it would work with those cars. A P10 or a P8, but an S6 or an S10 would work too. Thank you. And because my old age has gotten... There we go. And where's my notepad? Ugh. Did Cayenne sneak off with it? Oh, well. Where are you? Oh. There we go. This works. So, KPEV. And then it would be the P8 or the P10 or an S6 or S10. But that one. All right, thank you for that. Because, yeah, I'm sort of thinking. Well, hello, Loco Layton. How are you doing? Yeah, now finding one in a reasonable price range, because anything Fleischmann HO, especially Fleischmann 3-rail, is going to be expensive. But maybe I can find a Miracle Pico or somebody like that. Hey, Stuart, nice to have you here. The Miracle P8 doesn't like inclines. Well, thank you for that, Kiwi Dave. That's also something to keep an idea on. Yeah, I'm doing great. T3 is way too small. Yeah. I think that was one of the ones I was seeing. I didn't like the looks of it. It was kind of small. But to be honest, if it doesn't like inclines, I would just run it on my shorter loops that don't go up the incline. My 3 long loops go up the incline, and then the 3 short loops on that side. So Lee is here, in case I didn't say hi. Hi there. What's dangerous, Andy? But yeah, because everybody was teasing me, and I think I talked about last week, everybody was teasing me like, oh, Miraculin's making the Flying Scotsman, so of course you're going to buy that, aren't you? And I'm like, I don't know. If it were the Mallard, yeah, I would have pre-ordered it. But I am not attached to the Flying Scotsman. I recognize it. I understand its historical significance, especially for the UK. But the Mallard is the one train that even before I went to the UK, I just thought A4s looked cool, and the Mallard was the most famous, if I can get away with saying that, of the A4s. And I just thought it was the first steam locomotive I ever looked at and thought, that's just super cool looking. And that was, now I have a much better appreciation for cool looking steam locomotives, even if they're not streamlined. Get the later version. Try Merklin 3498. Okay, so I got 2 there. Hey, Raymond Anthony. Anthony. That's what's happened when I'm reading one thing and writing another. So see if I can find a Merklin 3498. Okay. And if it's Fleischmann, look for a later one that can have a decoder put in it. Oh, speaking of which, watch the trains for a minute. And I want to check on something real quick. Said it would take 5.5 hours. It's on 6.5 and not even close to done. But at least it's going well. The Merklin P10. Is that what the 34988 is? Yeah, and I like the warships. I mean, the thing is, you got to understand. I have always appreciated the workmanship in steam locomotives. My family are mechanics, tool and die makers. It's in the blood, it's in the history. And so anything that you look at and you go, men made that. They bent that steel and they put it into place. And so steam locomotives, I always appreciated the man hours, the labor, the creative working with it. But I wasn't into trains, and steam was old school. I'm a very modern guy. So when I came online and started getting into and got into trains and then came online, I was into very streamlined, modern era German and such. But once I started moving into the UK channels and started seeing some of these beautiful streamlined steam locomotives, that was the first time I looked at one and said, that's a cool train. And the Mallard was the one. I think it was IC Will at IC 82. Because his was the second English channel I ever watched. Hover Motion was first. It was Will and Sam. And then I think New Junction, Alan at Dragon Junction, and a whole bunch of channels all within a week. Because I just started subscribing to the UK channels. But I started with Jim at Hover Motion because he was a UK guy, but he spoke English doing German trains. And so we connected because we were both guys in a country that doesn't really do German trains who were doing German trains. And of course, Jim is such a techie whiz. His layout is amazing, automated. And he buys trains, repairs trains. He rips the motors like a lot of you guys do. You know, Brian Finn is somebody I was subscribed to forever. And that dude made a train yard turntable out of a microwave. How freaking genius is that? Brian is amazing. At the Ostertun page, okay. Although Jim is very knowledgeable about Fleischmann too, but wow, Chris, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, I am into Märklin, okay, and that's 3-rail, which, you know, I don't want to talk somebody into 3-rail or discourage them from it, but it's a different world. There's a lot of things where 3-rail is better than 2-rail, but you sacrifice a little bit of reality because of the nubs in the track. but, you know, are you going to do HO scale or N scale? Because that'll change. But if you want to, if you're DC, 2-rail, Roco is a great company to start with. They make plenty of product for multiple European countries. Pico is very good. I don't want to ever talk somebody away from Pico. I love their owner, and Pico probably makes more product than anybody in terms of different countries and different types of trains, because Pico just releases a ton of stuff. Technically, Märklin is still the biggest seller of all of them when you factor in LGB, Trix, and that. But if you're going to do, you know, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then Pico is a great place to start in DC. Although, personally, I think Roco is much better than Pico if you're going to do HO. If you're going to do N scale, just go with Kato and just... although Arnold can be pretty good in N scale. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming in. Nice to have you here. So did Eric are leaving and Kiwi Dave is leaving. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciated. I just changed the screen and my chat board is catching up on an hour's worth of chat. Come on, where are you? There you are. Let's go with that bit for a view. But I love Märklin, but you will meet some guys that hate Märklin. And there are companies that made great HO stuff that don't make HO stuff anymore. Fleischmann was like just amazing. Fleischmann was such high quality. I have not met anybody from Europe that ever had a negative thing to say about Fleischmann. That doesn't mean they aren't out there, but when you visit the dozens and dozens of German, Austrian, Danish, and Dutch channels that I watch for Märklin, and then these guys talk about Fleischmann or the Märklin Users Net Forum or Stumi's Forum, and these guys talk about Fleischmann, you know, before Roco bought them out, or, well, the one company bought both out. Yeah, but Märklin makes most of what I make in DCC format under the Trix brand name. But not everything Märklin makes do they release in Trix. Most, but not everything. They definitely do a limited thing of Trix, usually because Roco and Pico will be making that same locomotive in 2-rail. And basically, Roco, Pico, and Märklin seem to talk a little bit to each other about what they're going to release. But there are people that run 3-rail like me, but they won't buy Märklin. They don't like Märklin. They're only going to buy Roco, Pico, or Brava, or these other companies. But there are a lot of companies, and I had to learn them. And I have very limited knowledge of just how deep these companies go. My experience and what other people have told me, Brava is an amazing company. I love Brava, but Brava puts so much detail. They're good, strong running locomotives, but they're also fragile in terms of detailing because they put such fine detailing in, you're scared to touch it. But if you do touch it and put it on your layout, the things are monsters and run and pull and handle whatever you want to throw at them. Brava makes excellent product. It's just they put so much effort in the detail, and you do pay more for Brava. Roco is, to me, is maybe the best. They're not usually as expensive as Märklin, but they are very, very high quality. Their AC stuff is the best for converting onto my Miraklin system. Roco AC stuff, I never have a problem with Roco stuff made for my Miraklin system. Roco is just good. And they make some expensive stuff, but they make very good quality stuff. Pico makes really good stuff, and then they have some stuff that just falls apart. The Württemberger C-Class from Fleischmann was a bad one. Okay. But the thing is, I got into what I'm doing, if you want to say, by happy accident. I decided I wanted to get into model trains, and I wanted a German ICE-3. I Googled ICE-3, and the only one I could find was a used Miraklin that was in my price range. And Joyce bought it for me as a Christmas birthday present in 2015. And then my kids bought me the track and controller for Christmas of 2015. Unfortunately, Santa Claus lost it, and it didn't come in until the day after Christmas. And there's a famous video on my channel in the family of me where I set up a loop of track on my Christmas train, and I'm the day after Christmas on our kitchen table, and I'm playing with my Mobile Station 2. Not this one, but this is a Mobile Station 2. But that was the... so I was into 3-rail, Miraklin track, and Miraklin system before I knew what I was doing. It's just that once I learned what I was doing, I'm glad I went this way. The Miraklin C track is digital for dummies. It's so easy to do digital. Yeah, I think I did. Let me see. I will take the camera over and show you what I got. So bear with me. Let me show you what I did get. I will use this camera. Come here, microphone. So, come here, you. So this is currently running the Azuma. This is currently controlling the Azuma, and I'm quite happy with it. I got it for 40 bucks, and I guess they retail for anywhere from 60 to 80. And then, whoops, this Bachmann is running the other track. This Bachmann is running the Bachmann Easy track, but this is the new one. Come on, stop being difficult. Okay, so I could come back and see if anybody commented on it. Yeah, Roco makes beautiful trains. Pico puts a lot of stuff in their design, but Pico just, especially their hobby line, their lowest line, I've just had a lot of bad luck with it. By the way, if Bernie is watching in the background, Bernie from Crossways Point Junction has been ill this week, so everybody just keep a thumbs up and a good thought. Yeah, and the thing is, I really didn't want to spend a lot of money. That Bachmann controller there came with the equivalent of 2 loops of Bachmann track. I could build another giant loop of Bachmann track, and I got it all for 20 bucks. I got the track and the controller, the Bachmann controller, for 20 bucks. And I wanted to upgrade to Trix track because Trix track is a much better quality track than this Bachmann Easy Track. The problem is, I'm me. And once I got the Tricks track, I had a spare Hornby controller that came with my Beatles Eurostar. So I had a spare controller, and the Tricks track made a bigger loop of track. I was like, you know, I could still run that Bachmann loop. I've got 2 controllers. So the Hornby was a piece of crap. It kept breaking down. I kept fixing it, kept breaking down. I kept fixing it. But it finally broke down, as those of you who follow me know. But I don't want to spend a lot of money because I'm not going any further than this with the... I'm not going anywhere further than this with the 2-rail stuff. I'm not... I can't. My heart is on the 3-rail, the Märklin, the German stuff. I enjoy the 4 UK trains I do have. I may pick up 1 or 2 more UK DC trains. Hey, hi George from Florida Railroad Dog. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Let's see. Watch those guys going up the incline. We got those 2. And they're coming around the corner into the station. And nothing wrong with that, Raymond. Cato Unitrack is good stuff too. I'm not gonna say how dare you. I just, because it's Märklin and I'm such a Märklin slut, that I went with Trick C-Track. All right, hi, take care. We will see you later. There goes that little BR650. My little trains over there tend to just run and get ignored by everybody. Get Weinart or Tillig Elite? No, thank you. I am happy with my C track, and if I were to go with more realistic track, I would just bump up the Märklin K track. But, because I have this attitude, like works with like better. That Märklin stuff works best with Märklin. Arthur, I try not to, because even though we have long curves, I just hate the thought of cranking them up. But let me see if I can do one. Where's the... This is about 3/4 speed. That's about 3/4 speed. That is scale speed of 216 kilometers an hour, which is about 140 miles an hour. But that's about it. And I'm trying to keep the cameras on it while I'm doing it, because I've got my hand on it just in case something happens. I can stop it immediately. But yeah, they can fly. Well, technically, Jean Ricard, it was a Roco train, not a Märklin train, but yeah. The gumdrops add to the play value. The thing is, the first 3 trains I bought were Märklin. I bought Märklin Track, the Märklin Mobile Station, and I was just, wow, Märklin's good quality. I like the Märklin Track. It was easy to digitize. I mean, everything was pre-digital, but even the Märklin turnouts, no bus wiring, no drop wires. You just stick it all under the, I don't think I have one here. Your decoder and your motor for the turnout go right under the track. I'll go ahead and make this large for if anybody hasn't seen these before. There we go, next solo. This is Märklin C-Track. You lose a little in realism. It's pre-bedded and it's this charcoal grayish color, which there is plenty of track in Germany that is this color, where the ballast is that color. But it's 3-rail, and 3-rail is just more efficient at this size. It's more efficient energy transfer, and you can get electricians and electrical engineers and IT guys argue, but technically it's still DC. The power's delivered 3-rail AC. Okay, they call themselves AC. Power's delivered AC. But anyhow, and then of course you have these third rails, which unlike the Lionel, which is an actual third rail, they're nubs because the third rail is hidden underneath. So you just have the little nubs, or as Raymond calls them, the gumdrops. But you can put the turnout motor and the decoder under here. The turnout motor and the decoder power from these clips right here. So there's no drop wiring underneath. You don't have to drill holes and drop. If you want digital operated turnouts, you just plug it in, put it in, load, very quickly load. In fact, the newest ones are automatically read. You don't have to program them. They're just automatically read. The new decoders for the turnouts, the 74662, those are automatically read by the central station. They're automatically loaded in. But that's it. No drilling, no underground wiring. Your motor, your turnout motor, and your decoder are just fit right under here under the track, and they operate perfectly. Like anybody, you can get a dud motor or something like that, but it's just, I fell in love with the system. Yeah, I saw that one, EFO. Well, Jean Ricard, I had this Railjet before I went online, and I even had an earlier version of this table, and it had already done the outside loop at that speed. That is radius 5 curves, which is the biggest curve Märklin makes. Now, somebody makes radius 6. And somebody announced they're going to make radius 7. That they're going to make a radius 7 curve. But as far as Märklin, I don't think has any plans of doing a radius 6 or a radius 7. Hey, Clive, nice to have you. But Indeed, and that's why I'm not loath to do it. But all three of my loops, every curve is a radius 5. And those were expensive curves to get in C-Track. But my 3 big loops are all radius 5 curves. And then the 3 short loops, where we at? Let's just do the 11-lane view here. We haven't done this yet. Oh my goodness, every time I go over there, that camera shifts. That stupid tripod. I should change it. But this is radius 5, radius 5, radius 5. Radius 4, radius 3. And then let's go to the, well, maybe the bridge view would be the best one. So yeah, these are the 3 outer loops. So radius 5, radius 5, radius 5. And then radius 4, radius 3, radius 3, radius 3, radius 3, radius 3, radius 2, radius 2, and so other than on the turnouts, there's no, well, no, even the turnouts, it's a 224. So there's no radius 1 on my layout. And radius 2 is only the parking areas. Am I on? Everything says I'm good. The chat disconnected. Well, yeah, hang on. Let me do this for you. Now, this is metric. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, so if you look in the upper left-hand corner, now I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, okay, I have this in front. So now this is metric. But Miraklin only does radius 1 through radius 5. And basically, 360 millimeter radius, which is 36 centimeters. Divide by 2.5. That's about 7 inches. No, not 7 inches. That's 16 inches. My brain's not working right now. And then basically it's 77.5 from center to center of each radius. At least of the first couple. And then it gets a little tighter. 64, 64. But, you know, every country like the UK, I think their radii are a little different. But somebody, I thought it was Roco or Pico, is releasing a radius 6, which would be even wider than this. And then I've heard somebody mention on a forum I was on a few months ago that somebody was thinking of doing a 6 and a 7. 18-inch radius, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so basically it's 18, 21, 24. So it's very similar to the American. So you got 18 and then roughly 21, 24. And then 26, 27, and then 30 inches. Yeah, it is, Dino. And that is because... Let me get back to trains here. And Dino, that is because starter sets are designed for people that are going to set up basically a 2x4 basic, whatever you want to call it, a 2x4 little section, something that you can put on your kitchen table. And so their starter sets are always radius 1, which is the tightest radius. And then if you want better, you can always order or buy. Well, either way, you're going to buy radius 2 or greater. But they do radius 1 because that basically fits on the metric equivalent of a 2 foot by 4 foot board. Oh my, we're comparing sizes and scales. And so now people say, now Ifo, you're saying that is controlled by the NEM coupling standards that are out there. But from what I have been told is that this radius 1 was basically standard even before they sent coupling standards. But that was how a Märklin person explained it to me when I met them at a shop in Germany. Was they were saying that it's radius 1. Now radius 1 is the smallest radius maybe because of the couplings, but it's the smallest one and it roughly fits on the equivalent of a 2x4. It is a kitchen table radius. So it's so whether the coupling standards set it up that way or that way set up the coupling standards, who knows? But that was how a Märklin guy explained it to me over in Germany. Was that it's basically goes back to the original kitchen table trains. Which Andrew is leaving? 156 Andrew. All right, take care, my friend. And running them side by side, but that would more be, you know, running them side by side and not hitting each other. That spacing distance, I can see that. But in terms of radius 1 in and of itself, that's just, again, I can only go by what other people tell me. But the original radius 1, so that if you grab your standard 2x4, 2 foot by 4 foot board, or a standard kitchen table, 30-inch kitchen table, well, kitchen table started at about 24-inch. You can fit it on there. But because we all know that there's a lot of cars that can't run on, there's locos and rolling stock that can't run on a radius 1 curve unless you pull off the buffers or something like that because it's too tight a curve for them. Okay, 360, 300 was the DDR standard. Isn't it interesting how a lot of this is DDR, EPO? Or are you just a DDR guy? Because you're always quoting how this was DDR, and this was DDR, and this was DDR. Well, if you really want to talk about big curves, we'll wait till Joyce gets down here, but that's a different story. You've got some gondolas that don't like radius 3. Yeah, I've got a double flatbed that I put slightly longer couplings in because it did not like running the radius 3 curve on the one inside. So I changed the couplers and put a slightly longer coupler on that one. But otherwise, it's... 'cause, 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 ' The only cars where I had a true coupling issue on Radius 3 were those ESU cars, and I am so disappointed with those Verkehrslot Zilberlinges from ESU. I don't think I'll ever buy ESU rolling stock again. Yeah. Well, there was the Railjet. When I bought the Railjet, said nothing smaller than Radius 2. But by the time I got the Railjet, I was already putting Radius 3 track on my biggest loop where I ran my Railjet on my old big rectangular table. But yeah, I remember having people teach me about this. Either watching videos from Germany and talking on Miraklin Users Net, and people saying, if you're going to get this, don't, you better have Radius 3 or more. And so yeah, I had that definitely was something I had to prepare myself for. And when I designed, and this is version 2 of this table, this is version 2, it's a little bit wider. But when I was designing this, I designed it with Radius 5 in mind. I was going to go with the widest radius because I knew my big trains, the ICE-3s, the coming ICE-4, the Railjet, that they were going to be running this, and I wanted them to be able to run at some speed. And so it was just going to be Radius 5. And then, because I wanted to get more track, I wanted to get more loops on that one on the Bremen side, I went with Radius 3s in there, but I only run smaller trains there. Yeah. And and Raymond, you know what you're doing. But yeah, there are trains that you just cannot buy if you have Radius 1 track. And the funny thing is, several years ago, and I think Raymond just went back and watched it, and I think Evo watched it a long time ago. Several years ago, I did a show called the Miraklin Outsider, where I was explaining what I understood and what people are telling me about the Miraklin system and my attitude with it. And I did a video about Radius 1. Why Radius 1 is still there, and the pros and the cons of Radius 1. And the hate mail. I still think that video has more thumbs down than any video, including some of my singing videos, where I sing. I got so many angry comments because if I dared say here's a problem with Radius 1, all the pro Radius 1 guys just attacked me. And then when I talk about, well, here are some good things about Radius 1, all the guys that hate Radius 1. And I was just saying, it's a debate that I had seen on several forums regarding Miraklin, because some people were saying get rid of Radius 1, and like you were talking about, in the starter sets, that they hate that they buy a starter set and then have to go out and buy more track, and they wanted the starter sets to have Radius 2 track. And I just brought that up, not taking a side, and because I didn't take a side, I got hate mail from both sides. Ooh. Hey, Michael, how are you? Yeah, and with trams, and there are plenty of trains that will run Radius 1. Again, you got to fit your space. But it comes down to have your cake and eat it too. I want a small, tight layout because I don't have a lot of space. But I want to run a Railjet. Well, you're either going to have to go Radius 2 and run the Railjet slower, or go down to N scale. Then you can get a wider radius in the same tight space. If I would be N scale if I had a small space. I'm still crazy enough, not that I would ever switch to N scale, but Joyce and I joke about it at times when we're down here. We look at this table and she goes, and I'll say it to her sometimes, but we say the same thing back and forth. Could you imagine what trains you could be running if you had gone N scale on this layout? Hey, Lucy's here. Hi, Lucy. How you doing, my dear former student? Speaking of Joyce, it's about time for her to show up here. She's probably in a bad mood because she really wanted a snow day today and didn't get it. The storm, we were supposed to get 2 to 5 inches. We got 1. And you know women, when they're expecting a lot of inches and don't get it, they're disappointed. Good night, folks. Well, I'm glad you've been good. I haven't. I'm retired. I can get away with this. Nobody can say, that's my teacher. And people going, that's my son or my daughter's teacher talking like that. I'm retired. Everybody. The parents, the administrators, I'll say what I want in my stream. This is age limited and... No, Toledo is 4 inches. If you get 4 inches by a certain time, then they'll close the schools. Or if you're going to get 4 inches, if it looks like it's going to be pretty good, they'll do preventative. Every area is different because you get used to Minnesota. 4 inches, like we walk barefoot in that. Yeah, we know Minnesota, but 4 inches is usually good enough to get Toledo shut down, the schools shut down. More to really have an effect on workers and stuff like that. And then Tennessee, if they get a dusting, everything shuts down. Wait till Biggest hears about this. I have a friend, you know. I have a friend in Rome. Centurion, strike him down! Throw him to the floor! He has a wife, you know. Oh, Life of Brian. Whew! What a movie. I was just watching that the other night. Now, see, I've heard of Roa, or Rova, I guess I should say. Yeah, and again, so I never tell anybody what to do in this hobby. I don't know enough to tell other people what they should do. I can't advise you. I am a Tolkien elf. And if you don't understand what that means, in Lord of the Rings, there's a constantly used phrase in J.R.R. Tolkien's books about don't ask elves for advice because they'll say both yes and no. And that's me. I will not give advice unless I'm begged for it, and then I will couch it. Because I don't want to say, yeah, you should do this, only to have it go wrong and be blamed for it going wrong. Well, hello, Andy81E. Welcome in. I saw that. It's a very cool little Vectron you have here. I have to wait to show off my new trains that I bought this week, next week. Because I bought one on Monday and was hoping Lippo would send it out. And then on Tuesday, I got a notice saying another reservation had come in. So I bought, well, actually, it's it's a EMU, electrical unit, and a set of cars. With lights and everything. They're basically Zilberlingas again. Exactly, Chris. That's how I am. But, you know, there are pros and cons. If you go 3-rail, you're stuck predominantly with Märklin product. Barocco, Pico, Brava, and everybody makes stuff for Märklin. They just don't make all their stuff for Märklin. And that's a problem you run into sometimes where you want a a 3-rail version of a locomotive, and no, Märklin hasn't made it in 20 years, and Pico and Roco aren't going to make it in 3-rail. They've just released a 2-rail, but not. So there are drawbacks of 3-rail, but there's also positives. At least with the Märklin C-Track, the ease of putting in decoders and motors for the turnouts, your points, your switches, whatever you want to call them. The snap together lock in place ease of the C-Track, plus running everything, it's awesome. And you can mix and match. You can have Märklin track and have a Z21 controller. I started with an ECOS. I now have the central station. So let me see, which camera can I do this with? I'll do it with this camera. Whoop, whoop. I'll give everybody a tour of my command station here. Come along, little camera. All right, prepare to vomit. Let's see, this is the Joyce view. All right, so here is my command center. So this is my central station 3. Think a Z21, or as you guys say over there, a Z21. Think of a Z21, but it has its own display image. So you don't have to use your tablet. But you can use a tablet with this too. So you have that. That's my primary central station control. Then hooked up to it, I have 2 handheld controllers. And then on my computer, oh, look at Shaky Ends McGee going. On my computer, I can control trains on my computer here. And I can also do it on my phone and on my tablet. In fact, I've got a tablet somewhere way under here. It's kind of buried in the back. I haven't used it in a while. But I can pull this all up and run it on my phone. Here's Infinity, everybody. Are you ready? Woo! Infinity and beyond. Psychedelic, man. Okay, enough punning around. Somebody's here. Somebody. Oh my goodness. Whoa, I totally went the wrong way with that. Where are we going? Come on, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to get it on you.
No, but you're on mute.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. I'm looking at the 15-second delay. Let me get into... There you are. There you are. Dead center again. Oh, close. Once that's...
Michael.
There you go.
Alright, well, Andy, I'll give it back with the enthusiasm. So hi. And, first of all, hi everybody, and hi Bailey. Hi Tom, hi Randall, hi Leslie. Hey Rick. So Michael, you're being funny. Hi Smallwood. Hey Artie. So, hey, Model Shed, I'm fine, just a long day. Hey, Randall. And hi, Artie again. And hi, Sean, nice to see you. Hey, Blazy. Hey, Rex. Railroad.
Constant adjustment.
So, hey, Mick. Hey, Paul. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Nolan.
There we go, there we go.
Oh, any way to update a mobile station 2 without a central station 3?
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
I could answer that
Well,
one.
I kind of lied, but no. You could take it to a dealer, a Märklin dealer, if there's a Märklin shop near you, and they can update it for you, but they plug it into a central station 3.
Right,
so that's the downside. You cannot update the central station 3.
Hi, John.
Or
Indeed,
you can't
Raymond.
update the mobile station 2 without a central station 3.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Raymond. Ooh, 41 likes. Look at you go.
Oh, what?
I take over now. I'm too tired to take over, truly. We had a field trip today. I'm telling you, they are always exhausting. We just went and saw the local symphony orchestra. The kids seemed to really enjoy it, which was great. But, you know, you walk, you sit. You walk, you sit. That's how I'm tired. And I showed them a movie. And I had 5 apps in.
Because they weren't going to come to school in that.
Hello, Norman. You got a newbie there, babe. Norman Thompson.
Well, welcome in.
Hi, Thomas.
Ah, there. Come on, work. Work, you darn thing. Work. Work. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So, Cameron, all right, we got to knight somebody. We got to knight somebody. Where am I at? Oh, I was on it. All right, so where is it?
Funny. Kind of mean, though.
Who, what? Who's being mean? I'm not agree. I took the wrong boy table.
Lazy.
Norman, you can advertise.
This live stream is Joyce with special guest Anthony. Silly. Go ahead. Do your spiel.
Norman, you can advertise. You can advertise your channel if you got one, or somebody else's channel if you got a friend or somebody. Man, that is still sitting sort of wonky.
I don't know. Maybe
It's
I'm
driving me
sideways,
crazy.
honey. I might be. So anyway.
Are you saying you're bent?
I might be leaning.
No.
So
No,
anyway,
that's
welcome
better.
Norman. It's Anthony's live stream, and I usually pop in for the last hour.
I'm Anthony. This is Joyce.
In
In case you were wondering. This is Joyce, also known as Daisy.
Yeah.
You did get a
Daisy.
compliment.
I did.
Somebody said their favorite part of the live stream is when you go into the Daisy voice.
Oh. Oh my! I gotta work into it right now. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah. So.
Hey, Philip is here. Hi, Philip.
So anyway, gentlemen.
Well, that's what I am. I just love model trains, and I'm a newbie, so it's like I'm a fresh convert. But I run European trains because that's where I got into trains. I
You're
was
like a 5-year newbie.
8 year.
8
Well,
year
7
newbie?
years.
Okay. So anyway,
But I still feel like a newbie.
thank y'all for hitting the like button. That's so sweet of y'all to have 41 likes already.
No, it's funny you
And if
mentioned
we
that,
could get
Evo,
Anthony up
because
to a 50, that would be even better.
Evo mentioned this. I just read that from somebody else, the Glonsblick locomotives.
You're just talking over me.
Yeah, I'm talking over you. I'm talking over you. Hey, whose live stream is this?
Well, it's yours, of course.
And don't you forget it.
I never do.
Your shirt says Beverly Rocks.
Yeah,
You just need a t-shirt that says Joyce Rocks.
you're right, I do. Joyce rocks.
You have
Yeah,
been
I'm
rocking since you
sorry
were
if
born.
you haven't known me. If you're new in here, I don't sit still, and I rock all the time. So, yeah, I don't think you should call
She's a
yourself
perpetual
newbie either.
motion machine. We keep trying
I
to figure a
really
way to
am.
wire her up.
Yeah, well, you know, when I was a baby, I had a problem with my stomach. So
Yes, it is, Jean Ricard. That Acme is running beautifully.
The only way I'd be quiet is if they put me in the swing. I'd say it's my family's fault. Hey, a live stream from mine, but I don't know what the heck I do.
Hey, Langton Road. I'm sorry I missed you coming in. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Dark Kicker Garage.
But yeah, everybody advertise your channel.
Stefan,
Hello, the
that's
car.
right.
Now, I haven't seen Lindy in, but
Oh, is AJ in?
no, I think they just picked
Oh,
up
I
on
think
that.
for the Car Taker Garage, I think maybe.
I mean,
That's what we went for, the Tar Kicker Garage. So Stefan.
yeah. Say who what?
Stefan.
Oh, there we
So
go.
He's
The car-
responding to that. That's who
Stefan,
he's
Skull! I didn't see you come in.
So yeah, I rack up. Yeah.
We are good.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm going to the Toledo train show, and I will be wearing my other T-shirt, but I
High
got
on
my
the
little
plane. You got that right.
I got my little
Randall.
jersey here.
Yep.
Model Train Outsider. Model Train Outsider.
And you can get one too. I'll leave. What the hell?
You're just Hey, you want to try to sell them? Go ahead. Nobody's going to buy our shirts, okay? Nobody. We made them for us, and we just put them on Teespring. Oh, that's an orc's head from the rest of the body's over here. Actually, except his arm.
Did Cayenne break it?
Cayenne crushed him.
Ripped his head off. Oh, Lindy, you got to watch out for your son. Oh, he's still sleeping. Okay.
Oh, Lindy's here. Hi, Lindy. Hey, sweetheart.
He
Cayenne's
fought
still sleeping.
naps, so now he's really snoozing. Oh, it's going to be a while before you get him back to bed tonight.
I gotta get the super glue
He's
out on
sleeping
that.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a Warhammer. That's a Warhammer orc.
Okay.
Hey, Ian Fraser, how are you?
Hi, Ian.
The Flying Scotsman is your way tomorrow.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
redesigned this one because it printed out badly, and nobody in my family liked it this way except me, although everything was supposed to be up higher. The new jersey is actually pretty cool. I like it. But you can see the new jersey on my... Uh-oh, who what?
Sean. He's Sean. All right. Bye, Michael. Nice you came in.
All right, take care, Michael.
So
I got something to say that's got to cause you pain. But if I catch you... If I catch you shopping on eBay again, I'm gonna let you down. Well, we do have toddler and children sizes, Andy.
Andy, you're not that thin. Little.
But yeah, they have, in adult sizes, they have extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. They go up to 5X in men.
Yeah, I'll be curious how many come.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I
Or
could.
the QVG kid will buy the merch. Oh, we can advertise a little bit.
Oh, you are. Every time you're on here, you're advertising.
I know I do. Car takers asking, what did we just say?
Why would anybody want?
Oh, that gets on my nerves. I don't remember it.
Who what?
Never mind, I'll find
Whose
it.
name?
Stefan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stefan asked if you're doing show coverage from the Toledo train.
Yes, I am going to be doing a live stream. Now, this weekend is
Toledo.
Jump Forward.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, so we're losing an hour of sleep and we're getting up early.
Yippee.
Oh, you're going to be a darling.
I am going to be a darling at this one, yeah.
Because, see, you got to read the chat while I'm filming
Oh, is that my job?
Your job is to read the chat while I'm filming.
Fine.
Yes, I am live streaming this Sunday. Now, the problem is we in the United States are doing daylight savings time beginning Sunday. Now, UK is normally 5 hours ahead, and mainland Europe is 6 hours ahead. Well, I shouldn't say all mainland Europe, but Western Europe is 6 hours ahead. But instead, you'll only be 4 hours ahead and 5 hours ahead. So if I say 10 o'clock USA time, that's about 2 p.m. UK time and 3 p.m. Western Europe time.
Andy, yeah, Anthony loves his Českodrahy.
Yep, I do indeed. I've got my Czech Railjet. I've got the Českodrahy EC, which we rode on, pulled by that locomotive. Yeah, in fact, the only train we're running that we did not ride on is the Austrian Railjet. We've been on one, we just didn't take a trip on one.
Right, and we will. We have our We have our tickets.
But we're riding a Railjet twice in our trip in June. Hello, Nancy. Nice to have you
Andy
here.
says you need a design which says Knight of the Rhomboid Table. That would be a good one.
Yeah, and we could get the spanner symbol on it too, the blue wrench.
Well, that's
I wonder
an
if it's
idea.
trademarked. Is it trademarked? I'll bet. I wonder if it's trademarked by
Knight of the Rhomboid
YouTube.
Table? Oh, the wrench.
The blue wrench
So
symbol.
just stick a wrench on it. It doesn't have to be blue.
Get an actual wrench and make it
Yeah,
blue.
Right. You say you don't have to do the same thing. So hi, Nancy.
In other words, start looking for me live about 2 o'clock p.m. in the UK and about 3 p.m. in Europe if anybody wants to tune in. If you're in America, it'll be roughly 10 o'clock. It's just how quickly we get in. I like to walk around fast, but I've got a partner with me
Nancy.
who likes to slow me down.
What?
We don't need to leave until 9:30.
Well, I don't like getting as early as you do, that's for sure.
It opens at 9. I want to get there. I like to look around to see where the best place to film is. Oh. I'll take you to breakfast and lunch. Come on. I'll make it worth your while. I'll really make it worth your while.
I'll do a 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. slot. 3? Whatever. You can watch
Well,
it.
he's been doing his live streams on Sunday, and I'm kind of cutting into
right,
his business.
Gotcha. Okay. So
I've
you'll
been
speed it
apologizing
up.
to people because I really don't like doing that. If I don't know they're live, then
Right.
I feel bad.
That's one thing, but yeah, if you even do.
but when it's somebody has a scheduled live feed, but unfortunately this is when Toledo does it.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, but you can always watch it later, you know.
Yeah,
On a
and
handful of stuff. Bribes. Well, yeah.
and again, it's going to be Wi-Fi is going to be
Could be an issue.
could be an issue.
Oh, Jean, you don't want that.
Well, yes, he
Okay,
does.
no, well, you might, but okay, we saw everything. Let's go.
Yeah, if Joyce does it, it'll be a 10-minute stream.
You got that right.
And
So,
you would be
this is
asking
here,
questions
this
like,
is
wait,
here,
Joyce,
this
go
is
back to
here,
that
this
table.
is
And Joyce would be
here.
like, no. Or you'll be like, Joyce, wait, go back. What was that? Shine it on that Chesapeake in Ohio. That C&O Railroad. And she's going to be like, the what? At least I learned last year. You're off to Chicago for a few weeks. According to Google Maps, there's a massive model railway shop. Yes,
Is that,
that's
is it?
Renault's.
Oh, okay, it is Renault's, yeah.
Yeah, the European model, yeah, that's Renault's.
One of these days we're going to
We
go
keep
see
talking about, we were
Renault's.
going to go to Renault's a few weeks ago, and then somebody got sick. We were going to do that 4-day weekend, and somebody got sick.
Somebody was sick.
Me.
Yeah, all right. I thought you were pointing at me. I guess
No, I was pointing at me.
Oh, Artie, dude. I am not looking for dollhouses.
Yeah, that was the wrong thing. Joyce is not a girly girl.
Oh, you haven't figured that out
Joyce,
yet?
you haven't figured that out yet. Joyce was a tomboy. She was an athlete.
I can dress up nice and stuff, but I'd rather be walking around with a baseball bat. Yeah, thank you, Nancy. It's always next time. Somebody.
Yeah, I got a reefer at my last show too, and the police arrested me.
No, it's not downtown. It is to the west of it.
Yeah, it's
Chicago.
it's east of the river. Oh wait, no. You're talking. I was thinking the toy show. You're thinking Chicago. No, it's
Yeah.
about 40 minutes west of Chicago, downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as we found when we were thinking of doing a Chicago trip, including Renault's, it is not. It is not. There's not good railways.
I don't know AC Gibbert.
There's not good railways to it or subways to it.
At one time, Wigwag Workshop was thinking of coming up. He's not. Dave from Crooked River was thinking of coming. He's not. So I thought I might meet a couple of YouTubers. But I'm hoping I will work up the courage to introduce myself and pass out stickers. Hi, this is my chick, because I'm just not, in public, I'm not that self-promotional. I'm really not.
No, he's not at all. Yeah.
I really still have that idea. Why would anybody watch my channel? Why would anybody come to my live
As
stream?
you have 36 people in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were at close to 50 at one point.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy. They didn't all hit the like button, though. Y'all gotta hit the like button. Candy stores in Milwaukee and Green Bay is what's trying to. Yeah.
Diabol's Railroad.
Truthfully, most of you are looking for different types of rail
Well, they sell erector
stores
sets at
than
this
ours.
one.
You know, we want the European stuff, so we're very limited.
They sell erector sets.
Thank you.
But I have never.
That's a flight to London.
I've gone to
Nice.
many model train shows since I've been in the hobby. But I've never, and Joyce and I go, and Joyce and I will have a good time together. But I have never enjoyed the show itself until last year's Toledo train show, which was packed. Lots of people there, sellers, dealers, and so forth. But also by live streaming it and interacting. And by this time I was communicating with American channels and learning American trains enough that I could walk by tables and appreciate the beauty of some of these American models. Even if I wasn't going to buy them, I could look at them and go, that's cool. Now Joyce will do that now too, because she went to the Cleveland, the Berea one with me. And she was, oh honey, look at this one. I've got 4 cars over there because of her.
Yeah, now he's trying to find a logo that matches it.
And now I'm trying to find a local that matches
Doggone
it.
it, I think I did something bad.
Yeah, well, I already...
Hey, Blazy wants you to read about Dowball. So, yeah, I'll check it out later, I guess. Or now. Okay.
Open link in new tab. Dobble's Adventure Park
Oh.
in Cornwall. And they've got trains, all kinds
Did you
of trains.
say it wasn't good
Ooh,
anymore?
look at that one. The Queen of Nebraska.
Sounds like it's not active anymore. I don't know if you find that or not on there.
Oh, it's listing all these.
We
The
do
park closed at the end of 2006.
not have any American railway stock. Is that true?
I have no American train stuff.
Yeah,
no.
he just does Western European, basically.
But I do have some DC UK stock, which is on the floor.
On the floor, because we haven't figured out where we can put another line.
We'll get around to it someday.
Yeah,
But it's just not good.
elevation.
So I am running down on the floor. It doesn't get a big window like all my other cameras. But I am running an Azuma. And then I've got the Beatles Class 73 Beatles Singles UK train.
Okay, John. That's a good reason.
Hey, Cayenne's here, Lindy said. And he's awake. All right, gotta do this. Plug your ears, people. Cayenne!
Hi!
Opa loves you!
Opa loves you!
Yes, Opa loves you. What about Oma?
I said Oma loves you.
Sound like you said Opa.
No, I don't need to speak for you. You don't have heat wave and
Up,
fire
up, up,
restrictions.
up, up,
Oh, buddy.
Up, up, up. Opa, 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 Opa,
Winter's
Opa, Opa.
almost done.
Ooh, mau, mau, Opa, ooh, mau, mau, Opa, mau, ooh, mau, mau.
Yeah, he's clearly our favorite since he's our only.
Yes, he's clearly our favorite because he's in a class of 1.
Yep.
It's easy to call him our favorite grandson because he's our only grandchild.
Yeah, we're hoping for a couple more.
You drive, yeah, I like the GWR 800s as well, but the Azuma was just a little bit prettier. That's too awesome. He actually drives 800s.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good job.
You know, if I just play with them on the floor.
That's right.
And then I have a Mallard, which was the first UK locomotive I bought. No, it's not. And I have a Beatles Yellow Submarine Eurostar because I'm a huge Beatles fan. So that was the first non-3-rail train I ever bought. I bought the Hornby set, so I got some track and a controller and would set it up and run it now and then.
Built by Siemens. Yeah, we see a lot of Siemens things here. Oh.
Yes, I do.
There's an Earth
But
cam
even
on.
better, I've got pictures of me.
Yeah, so you can watch all those people trying to do it. Oh, no, he's not traumatized. He knows what it's like here. Yeah, but
Who
come
was
to your
suggesting
seat.
he's... No,
Oh,
no.
Mick, nope.
Oh, no, that's how he gets greeted all the time. It's old hat with him.
Yepper.
Let me see. Let's
And
add...
he'll kind of do the same thing, you know.
I want to do his image. and
What are
it's
you
like-
putting on? Oh, is this the rail show? No.
No. I
Oh,
already
it's
got
not.
that set up.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I got that song from last week in my head now.
Oh, that's cool.
We want to go...
He's brainwashed in a good way.
I am trying to brainwash him heavily.
I was
Although he is
saying-
kind of
yeah.
not as interested in the train. He's still interested in trains, loves trains, but his attention span does not hold long.
Oh, no
with him.
doubt.
Come on, where are you?
You got
Where
a
are you?
cauliflower bird.
Oh, there it is.
from A rail seat?
I did what?
I'm trying to figure out what Andy's talking about.
Hang on. I'm blocking the view of all the trains. But that is me at the Abbey Road Crosswalk.
Yes, it is.
That is me at Abbey Road Studios at the Crosswalk. And the thing is, there's 4 pictures of me, and in each one I'm doing one of the poses of the Beatles. I need to splice them together. There's only one problem. The photographer took my picture at an angle instead of getting out in the road and taking it straight on.
I wasn't going to get hit by a car, you know.
You had to take your chances. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I went in the middle of the road. You could have.
Yes, but I was a lookout for you.
I see. And so, yeah, I have 4 different pictures where I'm doing the exact. I mean, Joyce will tell you, I had this measured exactly. Where each Beatle is standing, how they're holding their body from the Abbey Road cover. And I took my picture in that exact pose. Now I just have to splice them together. I have to green screen myself out and splice myself into the Abbey Road
It's
album.
a fairly busy road, and it's on
It is.
and it's on a curve.
And the people who live there hate it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
All right, let me get rid of that.
You think
picture
you
now.
know better though if you were if you lived there. And we found all kinds of Beetle geeks there when we went.
Yeah, probably the world's most famous road crossing. But, so yeah, when we were in London, we did Beatle stuff, and then when we were in Liverpool, we really, because I'm a huge Beatle maniac, if you haven't figured that out by now.
It looks chaotic. Well, yeah, it is. One day driving to get to there.
You designed the Abbey Road brochure for a couple of years, the one in the 12-inch sleeve. Cool.
Oh, very cool.
See, we know all these famous people.
I know.
Yeah, there's, sadly, there's so many. But the funny thing is there's so many people, they're so excited they're there, like me. But then you get the rivet counters, like somebody's getting their picture taken as they're walking across. They're like, they crossed the other way on the album cover. They're like, these people don't care. They're
They
just
don't
happy to
care.
be there.
They are, yeah. They don't.
But you do
worry
have people
about
going, they crossed the other way.
it. You were asked what your favorite song is.
My favorite song by the
favorite
Beatles.
track, to be more specific.
Oh, Strawberry Fields Forever and A Day in the Life are probably my 2
Wow.
favorites.
See, I didn't think he could do that. I thought it would be like his children, you know?
Say what?
It would be like your children. You couldn't choose a favorite.
Oh, I definitely have some, but
Alright.
Rain, the whole era of Rubber Soul to Magical Mystery, 65, mid-late 65 through 66, and then the whole Abbey Road side too, the medley is right up there as well.
Very right, Andy.
I teased Joyce one day.
Everywhere.
I teased Joyce one day. I told her that I had written a model train parody of the Abbey Road medley, and she had to sing it. She just, she still glares.
No.
But I used to, when I taught English.
All right, Leslie.
All right, Leslie, good night. As always, thanks for popping in and all the
For
great
sure.
videos you do, Leslie.
Oh, darling, if you leave me,
I'll never do you no harm. Believe me when I tell you, I'll never do
it's gonna go that long. I got a sore throat.
no harm. Yeah, but the whole Abbey Road album, other than Maxwell Silver Hammer, is a great album. You've got 3 of George's greatest songs ever. The medley, Oh Darling, and I Want You.
Wanting so bad.
Bad. Yeah, you love that one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you love the groove to that one.
yeah, no doubt.
Dr. Robert's a great one.
Hi, Growler. Welcome back.
I wrote a song with Prince, but you didn't know my dog could sing. But it's like when I taught English and taught English literature, and we discussed poetry, to get my kids into it, I would tell my students to think of their favorite, write the lyrics to their favorite songs out, and we would put the lyrics up on the board. And so we had to, like keep it PG-13, but I did allow a little bit of cussing, I would teach them how to analyze poetry, and then teach them to analyze their songs.
Hold on.
And I would bring in my favorite songs. And Day in the Life, to me, Day in the Life is the most perfectly crafted pop rock ballad in terms of how lyrically, musically, and just the way it's written, and it was 2 songs actually cobbled together. It's amazing. And even if it was all accidental by the Beatles, it's perfection. So I'll go into my quick dissertation on it. It is a song about social dysrhythmia, about how the life is just getting complicated, a very popular theme of John Lennon's, and how we just try to get through our day, struggle through our day-to-day 9 to 5 with whatever distractions we can. But it's a song about social dysrhythmia, about feeling out of place, and how the world is getting complicated. So to do that, it starts with John Lennon doing a count in, and then you have a single acoustic guitar, 1 instrument. Then a piano comes in. Then another guitar comes in. And then Ringo adds the drums. So the song becomes more complex. And it's a song about social dysrhythmia, about feeling out of sync. And Ringo maintains the beat. And people make fun of Ringo, and all you gotta do is talk to all the other great drummers in the world, and they'll talk about Ringo was one of the greatest. No, he didn't play the crazy drums like Keith Moon or the heavy metal like John Bonham. But Ringo is a great and brilliant drummer. So here's a song about social dysrhythmia, and if you go and listen to just Ringo's drums, even though he's keeping perfect time, he never plays the same drum pattern once. He blew his mind out in a car, boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. He hadn't noticed that the lights had changed. Do-do-do-do-doom. A crowd of people stood and stared. Doom, doom, do-doom, do-do-do-do-do-doom. He plays a completely inconsistent rhythm and yet maintains the rhythm. That is genius. In a song about dysrhythmia, he plays dysrhythmic drums and yet maintains the beat and the pace of the song. It's brilliant. I like Oasis. Well, I liked Oasis up to a point, and then I got bored with them. Their last album I liked really was their first 3 albums I liked. Let's put it that way. I'm trying to remember. Be Here Now was the last album by Oasis I liked. Was that their 3rd or 4th album? Heck, maybe it was their 5th. But I think it was Be Here Now. Yes, Ringo was left-handed and played a right-handed kick, and that created some very interesting drum fills, including, speaking of Abbey Road, Come Together. But Ringo had a nickname, the Human Metronome, which some people also gave to Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, but Watts is a good drummer, but he wasn't in Ringo's league. I like, my favorite Oasis songs are pretty much their biggest hits. Although, Do You Know What I Mean is probably my favorite Oasis song. All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? It is amazing, the song Day in the Life. It's just, it is so breathtakingly, brilliantly orchestrated. And whether they did it as an accident and didn't know what they were doing, or knew what they were doing, it's just, and my students loved how we broke down songs, because that's all a song is. It's a poem set to music. Oh, he was very talented, and he was a jazz school drummer, although technically Ringo, many people would say Ringo was more of a jazz drummer, but Ringo's thing was nobody kept time like Ringo did. There's drummers on YouTube that talk about this. There's like one of their students will make fun, oh, Ringo was a joke. And they say, really? Come here. I want you to listen to this beat. Yeah? It's simple. Yeah? Do it for 3 minutes straight without making an error. Ringo does. And this guy talks about it. What's his name? Drumline. Drumeo, that's it. He's Drumeo, who is a professional drum teacher and played in some bands. But I recently stumbled across his videos because he does a series of when people rip on Ringo, he pulls them aside and says, "Yeah, come here and you do this."
Right.
And of course, Ticket to Ride.
Bye, Norman.
Norman, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. Hopefully we pass the audition.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the wife and myself, and I hope we pass the audition. I've got blisters on my fingers! Yeah, because it was remastered. If you get the remastered Sgt. Pepper's from about 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was 2017, 50th anniversary, you get the same thing. They really bring the drums.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. That's funny.
Yes, I know that story, Nancy.
Yeah, awesome, Norman.
Oh, we remember Pete Best. And
we went through Pete Best's museum.
We went through the Pete Best Museum in Liverpool. Called the Beatles Museum, but really it was
our best
Pete
choice,
Best. It was the Pete Best and his mom made the Beatles, and everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
You can walk through the Beatles Museum in Liverpool that is run by Pete, the Best family, and there's exactly 2 pictures of Brian Epstein, and he's mentioned once.
Yeah, pretty dismissive.
But it's how Pete's mom Mona made the Beatles, and how it was she who really got them known and did all this work behind there. Oh my goodness. And how Pete Best was betrayed and screwed. The fact is, Pete Best screwed himself. He was not that good a drummer. The Beatles were never content with him. And when they went to Hamburg the last time, he was getting drunk and sleeping with prostitutes and wasn't showing up for gigs. And Ringo would sit in. And the other Beatles were like, every time Ringo sits in, it feels right. And so they finally booted Pete out and asked Ringo to join. And Pete's always like, I never know why they kicked me out. George Martin. He wasn't a very good drummer. He was adequate, but we were going to use a session drummer on the records, and then Pete could do what he wants live because nobody hears it anyhow.
The Missouri ones. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, because
anyways.
George Harrison's sister lived in that area. George Harrison's sister lived over there.
In Missouri? Or Missouri, depending on where you're from.
Was she in Missouri or was she in... I think it was Kansas City. And I think she lived the Missouri side of Kansas City.
Okay.
He was.
I believe
Now, would the Beatles have achieved the same level of fame with Pete than Ringo? I don't know. I mean, as George Harrison said, history may say that maybe looking back, the way we kicked Pete out of the band wasn't the best way it could have been done, but history will also show Ringo is the drummer of the Beatles. Pete Best never played on an official Beatles album. Yes, he played on some singles that they had recorded, and the Tony Sheridan stuff. But the fact is, beginning with their first album, Please Please Me, through their last album, Abbey Road, and I know people are going to say, Let It Be's their last album. No, Let It Be was recorded before Abbey Road. It was released after, but Abbey Road was their last recording. Ringo was the drummer. So Pete Best was a member of the Beatles, so was Stu Sutcliffe. So was Andy White for a couple of weeks. But the fact is, Ringo energized the Beatles in a way that Pete Best didn't. If Stewart had, well, the thing is, Stewart had already quit the band before he died. Stewart had already quit the band before he died. And Paul and George knew the Beatles weren't going anywhere with Stu Sutcliffe playing bass. Stu Sutcliffe couldn't play bass. They just needed somebody holding the bass guitar, and George and John and Paul didn't want to play bass. And when Paul finally got fed up with it, and he and George had a nasty fight with Stu, and Stu quit. But he stayed friends with them. He didn't quit because of that nasty fight, but he just was, he was admitting, I'm not a player, I'm an artist. But he had a trip and fell down the stairs and banged his head, and a brain tumor developed, and he died in Hamburg a year later. But he had already quit the Beatles and stayed in Hamburg with his girlfriend, Astrid Kirchner, that was friends with the Beatles and gave them their haircut. So she's important to their success too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she definitely was a big influence on them too. But Stewart was already gone. Yes, Ringo did do Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. But no, I have never felt bad for Pete Best. I've never disliked the guy until I went to his museum. Now I have an absolute dislike for him because his museum was so slanted about how great he was for the Beatles and how he didn't understand why the Beatles kicked him out. To this day, well, I think he's dead now. He never understood why the Beatles kicked him out, and everywhere how his mom did all this stuff for the Beatles and got him contracts and got him recording sessions and that, and she did do some of that, but it definitely is being exaggerated.
Coca-Cola 121 is
They
a
couldn't
rock
compete
band.
with, yeah, Paul's brother in the band The Scaffold. Who else was in The Scaffold? The Liverpool went on and became a famous poet.
Is that Sean?
Peter
Whitewalls?
something.
White Wall Wheels? Is that Sean?
That's George.
That's George.
George is White
Oh,
Wall
heck,
Wheels.
I can't keep him straight.
Now, just to help you, Mick is Mick.
Well, some of them are easy.
Roger, that's it. Roger McGuff. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Philip. Well, you're allowed to think that. Now, and again, you're allowed to think that and
Not
be wrong.
gonna fight you for it.
But everybody's going to have a different taste, okay? Everybody's going to have a different taste in music. And I am not somebody that says you have to love the Beatles. You can hate the Beatles. I don't like Elvis Presley, but Elvis Presley is an atomic bomb in music history. That my Beatles wouldn't be there, the Byrds wouldn't be there if Elvis Presley. But having said that, if Chuck Berry and B.B. King and those guys, Carl Perkins, hadn't been there, then Elvis Presley wouldn't have been there. You have to, even if you don't like somebody, you have to respect the influence they had.
Right.
And nobody had a greater influence in the history of pop rock music than the Beatles, even more than Elvis. Elvis was the atomic bomb, the Beatles were the hydrogen bomb. The Beatles accomplished things that made it possible for bands like the Byrds to do what they did. But again, if you like heavy metal, you know, because I do get tired of people going, oh, the Beatles saying I want to hold your hand. Dudes, Revolution, Hey Jude, listen to Abbey Road Side 2. You know, don't, you know, well, people say, well, listen to the Who's My Generation, listen to the Beatles, She Loves You. No, what were the Beatles singing when the Who did My Generation? Because I love the Who. I love the Byrds. But the Beatles are my personal favorite. But regardless of what band and music you like, if you know, I hate it when somebody goes, oh, the Beatles are overrated. They can't be. You cannot overrate the Beatles. Whether you like them or not, they were the most important and the greatest band in rock and roll music. End of debate. You can like the Byrds more, you can like the Eagles more, but they don't have the influence and the power the Beatles had. And again, Roger McGinn of the Byrds doesn't pick up the Rickenbacker 12-string if he doesn't hear George Harrison playing it on Hard Day's Night. Jimi Hendrix doesn't do what Jimi Hendrix does
He'll
if he
fight
doesn't
you.
hear. Jimi Hendrix isn't Jimi Hendrix if he doesn't hear the bizarre feedback loop at the beginning of the song I Feel Fine. Moody Blues were awesome. I love the Moody Blues.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know, the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus has some great parts to it. But the stories behind the scenes are funnier. You know, because the Who came in and stole it. The Who came in and stole that movie.
Oh, shit.
And the rest of the Stones actually went back and refilmed their concert part of it because their jaws dropped when the Who came in and did a quick one. They were all like, because they had already filmed their stuff, and they felt the audience was kind of low, and they weren't in a groove, and they were so jealous of what the Who did, they came back and refilmed it, and they still couldn't.
Didn't take the show.
Rock and Roll Circus
Yeah.
is the Who singing a quick one, and then everybody else just filling in the gaps.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of nice to see an early iteration of Jethro Tull. No, that's all right, Roger. You've been here for a while. We
Take
appreciate
care
it.
of yourself.
Because we're almost at wrap-up time.
Yeah, we
Any
are.
minute now, Joyce will start being hangry, and I don't have a Snickers to offer her.
Oh, it is 5:56.
She's down to the minute.
Yeah.
Peace and love. You got to do the Ringo.
Yeah,
Peace and love. I'm on you there, Roger. I mean, I love Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's probably my second favorite band after the
All right,
Beatles.
Artie, you
Although
take care
personally,
of
I would like
yourself
Roger
and
Waters and David Gilmour
Find some AC, Artie.
and David Gilmour's wife to be put on a plane and shot into the sun. I'm sick of David Gilmour and Roger Waters, and I'm sick of David Gilmour's wife, who writes the lyrics for the last 2 Pink Floyd albums and all his solo albums, and she sucks.
Oof, that's hot.
But they could blast her into the moon or into the sun.
Oh, there you go, Philip.
Wow, Philip, that's cool. Nope,
You're keeping some good company.
I've never met anybody really famous. I mean, Jamie Farr, and then some famous golfers and some famous professional bowlers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Comedians.
What comedians?
Oh, like Misty. What's his name?
Oh, right. I met all the guys from MST3K, Mystery Science Theater 3000. I've met everybody.
So Joel Hodgson. That's
Joel
the last one.
Hodgson and Trace
We used to follow
Beaulieu.
Joel when he was a comedian, a stand-up.
Yeah, we saw Joel before he started doing that when he was a stand-up comedian. If anybody knows MST3K, my favorite comedy show of all time. I like classic Floyd. To be honest, talking about overrated, and again, I respect his influence, but I think Syd Barrett is overrated. I much prefer Floyd after Syd Barrett left, although there are some great Floyd songs with him. I like the Floyd after Syd Barrett, and The Wall is probably, although I like the song Not Now, John, by the time Roger becomes the dictator in the band, it gets a little, like, I don't think The Wall is a great album, but it's got some great
songs in it, yeah. With some fluff.
Oh, Whiter Shade of Pale is
Yeah.
just, we could sit here all day and just pick classic anthems out of the 60s.
We sure could. Yeah, Raymond, I thought it was funny. When Tom Petty died, I cried.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I didn't think I liked him that much, but it was just, it really hit me.
We tripped the life fandango.
All right, Ray, thanks for coming in.
Turn wheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd called out for more.
This made me sad.
Did it?
Well, no.
Just
when Tom Petty
when
died.
Tom Petty died.
Yeah,
It was.
I
But
thought
it was
so
also the fact
bizarre,
that
though.
he died. He died, and then they said, "No, he's not dead." Oh, okay, but
Well,
he was
no,
it. And then, oh no, he's dead.
It just was, John
Status
Case is
Quo,
reprising
Pictures of
Coca-Cola.
Matchstick Men. I love that song.
All right.
When I look into the sky, I see your eyes are funny kind of yellow.
It's time, I think.
It's time? All right, well,
5:59.
it's 9:59? You mean 5:59?
I do mean 5:59. I can't read it.
Sound like you said
I
9:59.
probably did.
About Whiter Shade of Pale, Nights in White Satin, Time of the Season by the Zombies. They broke up before the song became a hit. They finally scored a big hit with Time of the Season, and they'd already broken up. But oh my God, that's one of the coolest songs out of the 60s. What's your name? Who's your daddy? He rich? Is he rich like me? Argent. He wrote all their songs, and then he formed his own band. It's nice to see they got back together.
It has a power on and off button.
And you did, yeah,
New controller.
you did,
I did.
what was the song you did? You did, oh, She's Not There. It's Not There.
Oops.
Well, let me tell you about the way she looked.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, you can shut that off.
Okay.
Oh, wait, click that first.
That one.
Yeah, that one. Click that one off first.
Okay. Came over to look, and all of a sudden it was like, no, we're off.
And then, all right, so let's go big screen here. Let's go big screen here and get you in on this. I'll steal that. All right, everybody. Once again, Joyce and I want to thank you for spending part of your Friday evening with us.
For sure.
And as always, we're amazed and very appreciative that people actually like to come here each Friday.
Sure do.
And we try not to offend people, but if we do, too bad.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going to get a dislike, I at least want to earn it
you
there.
Want to earn it, yeah, really.
You know. But just remember, everybody, we really do appreciate it. We are going to be streaming from the Toledo Train and Toy Show this Sunday morning for us, afternoon for people in Europe. And yes, UK, you're still in Europe. That'll offend somebody else.
Yeah, right.
But so until next time, until Sunday, we will say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. I think we stole that from Andy.
Do you think we took it from Andy?
I think we stole it from Andy.
I think that's quite how that works.
Good night, everybody.